पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू वगैरह। ओके, एक वर्ड आता है योवर्स फेथफुली, तो क्या करते हैं उसके लिए, योवर लाइन में बनाते हो, उसी में एस लगा दो, योवर्स और एफ, क्या पढ़ें इसको, योवर्स फेथफुली, योवर्स ट्रूली, तो योवर्स ट्रूली, योवर्स सिंसियरली, योवर्स सिंसियरली। नेक्स्ट, गे लाइन से ऊपर क्या पढ़ते हैं उसको, अगर डैश लगाते हैं, गो लाइन पे, गिव हल्का नीचे की तरफ लगा दो, गिवन ऊपर लगा दो, गेव और गे के नीचे इंटरनेट मार देते हैं तो गवर्नमेंट पढ़ते हैं। गेव इफेक्ट एक वर्ड आता है, गेव इफेक्ट, तो जो आप गेव बनाते हो उसी में ही के लगा दो, क्या हो जाएगा ये, गेव इफेक्ट, EFFECT। गेव एविडेंस, गेव बनाओ वहीं से वी में एस लगा दो, वी हाफ करके एस लगा दो, क्या हो जाएगा, गेव एविडेंस। गेव पोजीशन, गेव पोजीशन, पोजीशन ही ज्यादातर आता है, हालांकि अगर आपको पोजीशन आ जाता है तो आप क्या कर सकते हो, गेव के अंदर ही इधर डॉट लगा दो, क्या पढ़ेंगे इसको, गेव पोजीशन। गेव अप, तो गे और वी और पी लगा दिया। गेव राइज, गेव राइज। गजट ऑफ इंडिया, गजट जो बनता है गे जी और टी, और आपको पता है ऑफ के लिए हुक लगा देते हैं, गजट ऑफ इंडिया, एन हाफ एंड डार्क कर देंगे, क्या बन गया, गजट ऑफ इंडिया। गजेटेड ऑफिसर, जो गजट का टी है इसको हाफ करके इसमें एस और आर लगा दो, ये बन जाएगा आपका गजेटेड ऑफिसर, ईडी लगा हुआ इसके अंदर। गजेटेड सबॉर्डिनेट, सबॉर्डिनेट कैसे बनाते हो, सबॉर्डिनेट बनाते हो आप एस बी आर हाफ और एन हाफ। जब आप इसको गजेट के साथ जोड़ेंगे, गजेटेड के साथ जोड़ेंगे, तो ये हो जाएगा गजेटेड, और आउटसाइड सर्कल लगा के सबॉर्डिनेट। गजेटेड ऑफिसर आएगा, गजेटेड सबॉर्डिनेट आएगा, गजेट ऑफ इंडिया आएगा, अगर गजेट की जिक्र आएगा तो तीनों वर्ड काफी कॉमनली यूज किए जाएंगे। अब आप जो डिक्टेशन लिखेंगे, जो आपको मिलेगी SSC C एंड D ग्रेड टेस्ट 17 के नाम से मिलेगी। @100 जो होगी वो विद कोमा होगी, और जो टेस्ट 17 वाले 80 पे होंगे, इसमें दो ऑप्शन होंगे, एक नो कोमा का और एक विद कोमा का। यही सेट आपको ऐप पे मिल जाएंगे, इस वाले पे जहां आपको टाइप करना है 3P प्रोग्राम GRAMME डॉट steno 18.in पे, ये आपको डेमो में मिल जाएंगे। ठीक है, अगर बाई चांस आप लॉगिन नहीं कर पा रहे हो तो सीधा डेमो पे क्लिक करके आप वहां से भी लिख सकते हो। लिखेंगे पहले हाई पे लिखेंगे, फिर लो पे लिखेंगे। इसके अलावा आपने जिन्होंने कॉमन वर्ड 2A कर लिया है, कॉमन वर्ड्स का 2A, वो 2B करेंगे आगे कंटिन्यू। ये असाइनमेंट के रूप में था, अगर आप इसको मैनुअली कर चुके हो, ट्रांसक्रिप्शन सामने जो पेज होता है लिखने के लिए वो पूरा कर चुके हो, तो उसकी डिक्टेशन लेनी थी, और डिक्टेशन भी जिसकी होगी है वो 2B पे काम करेगा इस वीकेंड पे। ये 4 इनको कवर करने के बाद में फिर डिफरेंट कंटेंट पे चलेंगे, थोड़ा टफ कंटेंट पे चलेंगे। ये कॉमन कंटेंट है, काफी यूजफुल है। लिखो, पहले हाई पे लिखेंगे डिक्टेशन 100 के आसपास 1000 वर्डों के साथ, और फिर लो पे। रेडी? Start it. Madam, the unemployment question is a very vital question in the country, and though the government has been telling us what steps and measures are being taken, yet unemployment is increasing year after year. In the rural areas, unemployment and underemployment both are there. In the urban areas, those who get only some education do not get any employment. But in the rural areas, this is a chronic disease. I am stressing on the agricultural labor while giving his views on some of the points in the general discussion on the budget. Our esteemed friend Shri Kundubhai Desai stressed upon agricultural labor. It is a very chronic problem. Agricultural labor forms a very vital part of our rural population. They have no land, and those who have land employ the labor to their advantage. Agricultural labor is such that for employment, it always depends upon other people. When the laborers get some employment on big farms, they get some job for their livelihood. But for all the year, they are not getting employment, though the government is proclaiming so many land reforms, land ceiling, and so many things as being introduced. But everywhere you find a large number of village population. They have to run from place to place. Some honorable members complained that they are coming to towns and cities to create problems. If they do not come to towns, where should they go? Unless they are employed, unless they are economically settled, they have to find some employment somewhere for themselves. So they are running from place to place. I know about my own state. From my neighboring state, people are running there. Some get employment as tea garden labor, some in roadworks, some as rickshaw pullers. These people are running from place to place, but proper employment is not there. If this chronic disease is not manfully taken care of by the government, boldly taken care of by the government, if concrete schemes are not put up, and if people are not employed in them, we cannot boast of our democracy. We cannot say that we are doing so many things for creating employment. You know that there is the question of rural electrification, but what is being done here? Our minister was telling about 45 pilot projects that are there, but what are they for this vast country? What can be done by these projects? The Planning Commission is doing many things. There are many plans, but how far are they being achieved? How far are they being implemented? How far has unemployment problem been solved? These are to be seen. 45 projects will not do to serve the vast population of this country. It is a gigantic problem. So my submission is, unless you take concrete steps and devise concrete schemes to develop industries in the rural areas, things will not improve. Madam, you were pleased to intimate in this connection that the Khadi and Village Industries Board is doing something. But what do? They have asked the states to survey the areas and find out the industries that can be taken up. I know about my own state. There also the Khadi and Village Industries Commission have taken up small industries, but it is not enough. It is a drop in the ocean. They select a few industries but there are potentialities and there is scope for developing small industries, village industries in the rural areas, but sufficient attention is not given by the government to solve that problem. That is my humble opinion. Unless the government has taken concrete measures to solve this acute problem, no people in the rural areas can always remain asking government or those who have wage and means to give them employment. This cannot do. So, small industries, village industries should be surveyed, organized and developed. This problem cannot be neglected any further. Our late Prime Minister was telling us that unless you develop cottage and small industries and generate power in the rural areas, this acute problem cannot be solved. I know about the intention of the government. The minister was telling that the planning commission have schemes and also a committee, but what efforts have been made? We must know the result. Though there are schemes and plans, implementation is not there. People are not getting the benefits. There are many agricultural products which can be organized and developed as small industries. There is food processing. From earth you can get other things. Good industry is there. There are hundreds of things you can do. In the British times, we made a survey of some areas and we saw that there were many potential things in the villages. The villagers also know these. They are able-bodied men, but because they are not properly organized or given employment, they are nowhere. So, my request to the government is this: the pilot schemes, etc., will not do. What we want from the government is that they should face the problem with boldness and courage. Sir, we in Parliament are being asked to endorse the proclamation. At the same time, we have not been furnished with the report which the governor had sent to the president. Now, how can we give our verdict on a matter of such importance until and unless all the material facts warranting the proclamation under Article 356 of the Constitution are placed before us? Yesterday, the Home Minister said that this report contained only certain facts and figures with regard to the party position in the dissolved Andhra Assembly. In that case, what is the objection to placing that report before us? It would not give us anything particularly new except certain arrangement of figures made by the governor of Andhra with a view to advising the president as to the course he should take. We submit that his report contains something else. It was the duty of the government to place the entire report before us for the closest possible scrutiny and the most meticulous examination by members of this house and of the other house, because this report lies at the bottom of the whole thing as far as the constitutionality of the action of the president is concerned. ये जो कंटेंट है 1045 के आसपास वर्ड बोले गए हैं, स्पीड 100 की है, और ये आपको मिल जाएगा इसमें SSC CND ग्रेड, उसके अंदर लिखा होगा, यूट्यूब लिखा होगा वहाँ पर टेस्ट 17/100, लेकिन 5 मिनट बाद, डिक्टेशन के 5 मिनट बाद आपको ये सॉफ्टवेयर मिलेगा। अभी आप 80 पे लिखेंगे। रेडी, स्टार्टेड। Mr. Vice Chairman, sir, I welcome the budget proposals for the year 2012-13, which are all comprehensive and which embrace most of the development plans that we have envisaged for the establishment of a socialistic society in this country. In spite of the taxation and the introduction of fresh duties, we find that the finance minister has succeeded in disturbing only a microscopic section of the people of this country to extract sufficient funds for our schemes. The finance minister has also succeeded in finding funds for almost all the development plans of this country, which will add to our good. While we discuss the general aspects of the budget, we will have to consider the activities of most of the sections that are now covered in the budget, even though the provisions are there. I think, sir, the expenditure on some of the activities envisaged in this budget should be subjected to a thorough scrutiny. In this respect, sir, I wish to bring to the notice of this House the special feature of the educational system of this country. Some of the members have mentioned something about the educational system of this country, have remarked that the allocation of funds is not adequate and that the provision should be revised according to the needs of this country. As the honorable member was speaking in Hindi, I did not thoroughly understand what he meant, but still, sir, the educational system has created a sort of confusion in our country over the last 15 years, and every now and then we had been changing the schemes and plans for educating our children, and various states have adopted different schemes which have actually created a feeling of disintegration among the people of this country. In some of the states, they have switched on to the regional language as the medium of instruction, and in some states, they think that English should be retained as the medium of instruction. But the people believe that the medium of instruction should be Hindi, that is the national language of our country. But sir, the time is not yet ripe for us to switch on to Hindi. So, as and when we find it feasible, we may switch on to our national language, but till that time, we will keep English as the medium of instruction in all educational institutions. Sir, the other day the University Grants Commission submitted a report wherein they have mentioned that English should be the medium of instruction, at least in the colleges. Sir, it is my opinion that English should be retained in this country for years to come, till we find that we could translate all the essential books on science and technology, etc., into Hindi, which should be able to help us in educating our boys, especially in the technical institutions, through Hindi as the medium. Here, sir, some of the members have pointed out with regard to the introduction of different types of education in the same state or in various parts of this country. We find that a majority of the children of our country are educated in the basic system, which brings out, as far as I know, second class citizens in this country who are to be governed by the boys who are sent to the public schools. Most of the children of the haves are sent to the public schools and they are imparted expert training, and when they come out, they are definitely superior to those boys who undergo this basic system of education. If this basic education is considered to be the best for the development of our country in the socialistic way, we will have somehow or other to find some better means of imparting education, whereby they will be able to compete with the students who are now undergoing training in the public schools. Unless we do it, we will be creating, and I previously mentioned, a second class of citizens in this country. I hope the authorities who are concerned with the planning of education in this country will review their schemes according to the suggestions that I have put forth now. In the same way, sir, our country is mainly depending on our agriculture and industries for the development of our economy, but the agriculturists are an ignorant section of our people who do not find, in spite of the development in that sector of our economy of high production, a better income as the industrial section is having in this country. The industrial section is fast improving and their standard of living has gone high. At the same time, in spite of the better production in the agricultural section, the agrarian population has not come at par with the industrial section of this country. In the same way, industrial laborers are organized, most of them are given so many benefits and advantages according to the legislation that is passed for the betterment of industrial laborers of this country. ये 840 वर्ड के आसपास बोला गया है. फ्लक्चुएशन 90 तक का है. और आप टाइप करेंगे। अगर आपने अच्छा लिखा, ये आपको इसमें मिल जाएगा अभी 2 से 3 मिनट के अंदर ही। विद कोमा का सजेशन है, नो कोमा की चॉइस है आपकी। और जो कोई भी अच्छा लिखे वो आप सीन कंटेंट की डिक्टेशन लेंगे डिक्टेशन रूम में उधर बैठ के।